And we are back after a stellar win from Lightside, leaving Rudy at the end of the leaderboard. And why did that happen? Well, Eragon, I want to understand more about why it happened and where did it started.
So I think a lot of it came down to LLS actually outplaying Ruddy, but even more so than like we were shown, because I think the draft was incredibly hard to play for them. I think this was actually a Ruddy outdraft. So shout out to their new coach Wolverine, I believe, because LLS had so little damage. They had only a Gwen for consistent DPS, and the other two carries, Jin and Nico, had to get through a Ornn, a Xin Zhao ultimate, as well as a Leona. And so if Butchie wasn't that fed, if Butchie wasn't doing anything, there was no way they could actually secure the damage for resets onto the Viego. That's why this composition was kind of dysfunctional, and that's why Ruddy, even though they were down 5k, down an Ocean Soul, and even though they were getting 5-man ulted by a Nico, the fights were still really, really challenging.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I had the opposite thought. I thought it was actually a relatively easy to execute light side comp until I saw it in game. And then, like, everything Aragon said came to fruition. I was like, oh, I am actually just a moron. Like, they just didn't have the damage. And I think the major thing which really turned the tables was their objective control, because the longer the fight went, the better for them, because they were able to slowly ramp up that damage they had. And it really fired off the fact that they got that Ocean Soul, which I think was probably the best soul they could have picked up in that game, because it gave them so much sustain, so much healing. You had a Crit Bloom on the Nico as well, so one kill would heal the whole team. You'd have the Ocean Souls ticking, and in those later fights, it was just like the damage wouldn't stick the other way from Ruddy either. But yeah, that was a very tight fight considering the gold difference between the two teams.
Yeah. In terms of gameplay as well, I think we have to give a shout out to Dr. Chaos.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You could argue Tarak as well, Dr. Chaos and Tarak, but I think Dr. Chaos enabled Tarak with these insane roams to mid, which enabled Tarak on this Nico, where when you play Nico, you have to be proactive, right? This champion does get outscaled, often picks into it trade, lane phase for scaling, and Nico has to use her priority early to make plays, otherwise she's just relegated to an ult bot. So the roams from Dr. Chaos to mid enabled that. Tarak got massive ults in side lane, and then also in the mid game, Dr. Chaos shadowed Bucci in the top side, which allowed him to find that game-winning fight, which turned the entire game around.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Dr. Chaos was just superb this game. He played so well.
What? Let's talk to him.
Oh,
why not? The man of the hour, Dr. Chaos, is with us for the interview. Let's toss it to him. I think he's ready. Hello, Dr. Chaos. Look at that beautiful smile. I love it. So yeah, everybody was talking about you, like, oh, Dr. K is this, like, Dr. K is that. You unlocked the early game, you unlocked the mid game. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously pretty good. No, I just like playing. That's kind of why I do it. And this game was really enjoyable for me. I got my Galio, and yeah, I mean, nothing else to say. It's just really fun to play.
But did you feel the obligation, not the obligation, but like the mission of, I have to go to mid lane, I have to shut down that Yone before he gets out of control, and we gotta get the Nico rolling as a champion. What was your thought process through all the roaming?
Yeah, no, I just saw that they played really hard for lane with Leona for some reason. I think he opened the map up really often, very strangely, and Yon played well, not on the timings that he should have. And then I just could stand mid. And since it worked once, I just went to work, and it worked twice. And then I just went again. And he just, was very learning resistant, it appeared. And but it was, I mean, it's also hard to play for him because you kind of want to punish Nico. So yeah.
You were so annoying if you were on the side of Rudy, or like, get out, just leave me alone. You know the meme? That's exactly how you were playing. But tell me something. In the later team fights, it seemed like they were closer than they were supposed to be, since you guys were so far ahead. Did you feel that?
Well, yes and no. I mean, our communication was our communication was really good, but sometimes our focus in team fights was a bit off, which made Viego less useful of a champion than he should be. But I mean, I never felt the game was close. I just felt we just win anyways. Like, the more later the game goes, the more we win. And once we got the soul, it was in the bag. Except if we do the Elder Throw. But no, I felt like the game was pretty much in our hands. So,
so you escaped from the bottom of the standings, which is quite important on week 3. So what is the aim? What is the aim for Lightside right now?
Yeah, I mean, what is the aim in a competition?
The first place. I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
I mean-
I respect that.
I mean, yeah, like I should ask you the question again because you don't seem to see that with your predictions today. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, some people
My
even put
gosh.
5 points though. Like some people put 5 points on Ruddy. Like that's, yeah.
See,
I
I'm
mean,
not the worst, okay? I'm not,
yeah.
I was never good at making decisions. I was never leave me alone. Ah, nothing is so much for this interview, Dr. Chaos. Always a pleasure to talk to you, man. I'll see you soon.
Have a great day.
Man, great name, great personality. Dude threw hands against you there, man. Cool down.
I love it. I love it.
Someone who
Call
can bully
me out.
Archer. Someone who can stand up to Archer and go toe to toe with him. He's a real one, man. He's a real one.
But to me, the best part of the interview was I just like to play. I'm playing competitively on NLC. I'm like showcasing my talent to all Europe and maybe who knows get to the LEC. Nah, I just like to play, man. Day by day.
the healthiest
That is a
outlook.
lovely one.
That's the healthiest outlook on it, man. If you go in with the big dreams,
Yeah.
like
I think people who enjoy the game the most generally play better as well. I think if you're having fun, often it translates to gameplay. I mean, like if you play champions you don't like we saw it today, like when he's playing Galio, right? It may be a suboptimal champion, but he just loves it. So
Let's
I think
jump to
that's what happens.
the other side. I believe we have an interview with Ruddy waiting for us, and if I'm not mistaken, it should be Built. I was waiting for us, and there we go. Hey, Built,
Yes,
pleasure
hello.
to meet you. Welcome to the interview.
Thanks for having
I
me.
voted for you guys. We gotta talk.
Yeah,
What
so
happened?
we're really sad that we lost. I mean, we're quite sure that we can bounce back, but there isn't really much to complain about. The pick was good, the communication was there. We just didn't commit to some of the fights fully, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Because there's a big hype train with Ruddy, you know. You guys came in and you put Alliance Creed on the jail. You also won the first game. Everybody was like, "Oh, Ruddy, like this is looking good." Do you feel like the hype train is moving forward, or it's just like it's a momentum? It's a situation right now. We can fix it. We got Wolverine right now as well. How do you feel?
It's a total car crash, honestly, but
Oh.
emotionally we're not feeling too bad. So there's certainly hope for the team.
Right. I like that perspective, man. Bill, thank you so much for this one. Bounce back tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Okay. Best of luck. Pleasure
For
to
sure.
have you. I heard. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys noticed there was someone on the
Yeah.
background. I heard him. Well, those are news. Like when you know,
Yeah.
it's a total crash down. That is.
I think it takes a lot of resilience to just admit that, just
Yeah.
say things aren't going well now, but we're trying.
It's also
Can
good
we-
because now you know the issue.
can we
Yeah.
also talk about
It's
total
impressive.
crashes? Because like predictions have gone real bad. Like real
Wait,
bad.
wait. Continue.
So, right now there's 3 people in the minus. Like it's pretty giga doomed. Root Dude on -3. Initialize on
Wait.
-6.
I have to ask: is there anyone -5 in the first 2 games?
I can't remember what the predictions were,
I don't think so.
so I'll have to
Okay.
double check that. I can double
It
check
can
that in a
go-
moment. Oh, here we go.
No! Oh, stop!
Oh, Duckling!
Veteran, no!
Oh, that's real bad. That's real bad. So, Duckling right now is -11. Like this guy, this guy got absolutely ruined. Like he somehow outperformed Initialize, and Initialize has not been doing great. So, I mean,
May
God
I
damn.
say, and this is quite worrying, like he still can lose 3 points, so he's aiming to get minus his age.
yeah. He's getting very annoyed at me in our production chat, but I
You
mean the
have
guy's
no
like
idea.
the guy's like 14. I'm not sure I'm gonna be that nervous about it.
Jeez.
Next game, though, it's the match of the day. It is Verdant versus Lions Creed. Oh boy, Ooh, I love this.
This is it.
What can we talk about this?
I mean, there's a
This
lot
is
to
what-
talk about. Both of these
Yeah.
teams, I think, are the teams that a lot of people are like most excited about. Lions Creed, just an incredibly stacked lineup, like a really, really stacked lineup. Everyone kind of had them down as the best team in the league, and they're in top spot, but they're also in top spot with Oh no, they're not in top spot actually. They're in 5th right now. But Verdant are actually in top spot with 4 other teams. Although that has now changed since Natives have lost, so there's a chance that Verdant could overtake Natives and actually claim themselves that top spot, and then they'll be tied with either Venom Crest or Nord, depending on the 4th game. There's so much to talk about with this game. This is gonna be a really hype one.
I think in terms of team strength right now, I would edge it out towards Verdant. I think Verdant have been more consistent, whereas Lions Creed just came off the back of a really weird week where they were performing a lot worse, especially in the mid lane. Tempt, I had my eyes on as like this kind of micro god, and you see it sometimes, right? You absolutely do see it, even when he's behind, but he is making such strange decision making in the early game that's putting him so far behind to the point of irrelevancy, no matter how good your mechanics are. I remember a game on LeBlanc where the game became kind of unplayable because he was AD LeBlanc and he was 0-3-0, right? So I want to see Bandera still pop off because he's been the best performing member of his team, and Tempt to dial it back down a little bit.
So not the match, but the lane to watch. This to me is quite important. To what you believe this is the main focus. And obviously we're going to put in the junglers because I think both junglers are really important on both teams. But which lane?
I think mid.
I think mid is important.
Yeah.
Too. I think I'm a bit biased, but I think top lane Doxy's really good, as well as Bandera's a really heavy micro matchup.
I just think like Errol has been a staple in this league for a while.
Yeah, that's
has
true.
Been a very, very consistently good mid laner, and then Tempt. I mean, everyone knows Tempt, right? Like this guy's crazy cracked. So, I really feel like this could be a very fun mid lane to watch. Obviously, again, a little bit of personal bias. I'm a mid laner. I really enjoy watching mid lane matchups, but I do think they've got some really fun champions in their pool. Like Aragon said at the beginning of the day, this meta is crazy fun because while we've kept a lot of what was meta in the previous patch, deeper champion pools make it easier to punish the enemy, to catch the enemy off guard, and you can pull out some wacky drafts that really do work. Can also say we've seen some wacky drafts that do not work, but I feel like both Tempt and Errol have champ pools that are wide enough to make this champ select relatively interesting. I say that, and then we'll get like Corki Oriana or something mid, and it'll be really kind of just like anticlimactic mid.
If this is quite important, if Lions Creed fail this one, another challenge. We talked with Kasing previously, and he said, hey, it's good to lose a few games so we can bounce back, understand our weaknesses, and all that. But if they lose this game, which is quite important, versus Verdant as well, this is versus a team that is looking for the top of the standings. Is it gone, the hype for the Lions Creed like mega team?
No.
Well, I didn't vote for them. I didn't vote for them, right? I voted for Verdant. I think I put maybe a point or 5 on them. No, I think it was just a point.
You
but
know
still,
what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, I think it is, honestly. Maybe it is just a bad week. But I am convinced that it just wasn't, and Tempt was really shaky.
Okay, so let's see how they bounce back. New patch as well. And this is a massive, massive, massive game. Because if Verdant wins this one, they'll be able to go into the first position right now. And Lions Creed, if they win this one, they'll tie up with Verdant. So a lot on the line for both teams, both powerful teams in NLC. Jumping into the Champions Select so far, this is a stable one. This is a stable picks or bans at this point. Nothing to shock about this one, with the Nico coming in third for Verdant.
See what this final band's going to be. Go on, Aragon.
Yeah, go. Yeah, okay. I think the best first picks, I think, since it's NLC, Varus probably comes up there. Maokai globally is very, very popular as a B1, but I think because we are NLC, it'll be a Varus. And then maybe we match it with a Jinjo Kalista kind of lane, but I'm surprised.
Lucian.
This rises in priority. Jinjo played Kalista last week, but Lucian plus X, I think, got nerfed a little bit because of the lack of double support item. It means you get less income. So Milio is a bit nerfed.
It is flexible, though. You can move that Lucian around, so that kind of goes back in. We haven't really seen too many interesting mid flexes yet, so keep in mind that Lucian, depending on matchups, could just go into the mid lane. I don't think you'll see him go anywhere else, but there is a world where the Lucian flexes into mid lane.
Fun stat fact: in Western regions, Lucian has a 2 wins, 17 losses record. In Eastern regions, he has like a 68% win rate. So conclude what you will with that. I think it's a bit hands difficult to see if Jinjo can pull it off.
I mean,
but yeah,
Tempt is Korean, so I mean, there you go. You might
they put Lucian mid.
Yeah, they put the Lucian mid, increase that win percent. There's a chance, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Nautilus pick up here. I think that's fine. Picking up the Varus, you got a lot of engage off that. Errol locking in the Oriana, so something a little bit more standard on that front. I feel if this Lucian is a flex, we're not going to see a mid laner or an ADC here. I think instead we'll probably see most likely a jungle pick, get himself something high priority on that front, and keep that flex alive. Technically a flexible champion as well in the Maokai lock-in there. Could go in the jungle, could go in the top side. And now over to that second ban phase.
Wow.
I'll be interested to see what they look to ban away. Taking away the Vi, which to me says this Maokai's going jungle.
Yeah, so Maokai, and you're going to pinch jungles, of course. I'm a little bit worried about Temp's pool, because mid laners are getting kind of purged a little bit. I imagine you won't ban Corki, because it's a good matchup for Orianna. Maybe you do anyway, because it's one of the last few good mid laners left. Tempt is here, what he's saying is, I have a big enough pool that I can drop through bans and still be able to pick. So we're going to secure a really OP jungler for Johan, and now we ban away junglers. I imagine Zinzao might come out for the side of LC as well. But no, going to target away Banderas, really big Cassante, Jax player. And I think he played Gwen as well before. So what are you gonna blind on the side of for the side of LC? I think it's got to be top lane and give counterpick over to over to Tempt.
I also think these top lane,
actually the other way around.
I think these top lane bans actually reveal that they aren't 100% sure on where this Lucian's going, so they don't want to be banning mid laners, because like things like Syndra are open as well if you want to lock that in for Tempt. So looking just to kind of target out this top lane and make sure the Banderas can't be unlocked in the side lane. Now looking towards that final ban here from Verdant, I wonder if they're just going to ban another top laner. No, they banned Hawaii away, so taking away a mid laner off that. I mean, I guess Hawaii, you don't know where the Lucian's going, would be a bit annoying to deal with, can kind of clear away those waves.
Do a Carly, but then that isn't the best mid jungle with the Maokai. I'm just trying to think of answers in the mid lane that work well. You could do Tristana for 80 AP, but it's not that good into the Orianna, so he's really pinched right now. I think you do pick mid lane. That's an answer. Of course, Yone versus Maokai is fantastic. Sorry, Yone Maokai is a fantastic duo, because the Maokai ult locks everyone up, and then you can get a free Yone ult, and it's incredible at shadowing as well. Also great into control mages, because you can just sustain through lane. So yeah, I really like the pickup from Tempt.
I'm gonna be real. That also does not still lock it in. Yone can still technically go top, so I'm pretty sure you're right. Attempt we know plays this, but there is still a bit of flexibility, which means Verdant are still unsure on what they're going to be locking in here. Looking towards their jungle, they lock in the Nocturne. I'm a big fan of the Nocturne, the ability to kind of have impact on the map. The only issue with the Nocturne is pre-6 doesn't really offer much. So Verdant just going to look now to pick up their top laner here for Doxy. Thinking about Fiora? A few ideas. Fiora, yeah, that's fine. No. I mean, sorry.
Into the Aatrox, Yeah. Into the Aatrox on Banderas Fiora is a really big staple. If he wants to pull out, Camille used to play as well, but Camille's kind of dead in this current day and age. Why have we seen 3 Ornn blind picks in a row? This is the most random thing that's cropped up in terms of this patch strength and power picks. Still going to be a blind pick for Doxy, and I know Banderas is thinking about it, guys. I know it. Oh no, don't do it. Give me the Fiora for once, please.
I think this is such a staple.
Makes sense, though. Yeah,
it also makes up for the magic resist as well, because they don't actually have any AP on their team, and the Gwen kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility in your damage profiles. So yeah, it's definitely going to be Tempt on the Yone in the mid lane. Whoa, where do I sit on this? I actually don't know. I feel like Verdant have some really, really solid tools here. They got a lot of engage. They got the ability to find those picks with the Nocturne. Post 6, obviously, but like Aragon said, post 6 as well. Like the Maokai Yone combo in a team fight is going to be absolutely brutal to go into. Yeah. And then obviously we've seen how the Gwen versus Ornn goes, and it's pretty rough for the Ornn.
So what Verdant have secured themselves is the really OP Nocturne Orianna duo, which lets you ult as Orianna past normal range, which is really, really broken. So it's going to be really hard for the Lucy and Milio to step up in the mid lane for fear of being ulted on and engaged on. So they're going to have to play side into mid, I think, in the mid game, because playing pure side lane is really hard versus Nocturne as well. So this Nocturne, eyes on Julbu. How does he capitalize in the mid game? That's what I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah.
So it's about to jump into the game. We're ready for the match of the day, and we have Foxdrop. But before we tune in for the person who has minus 11 points, I just want to say, when you try your best but you don't succeed. Take it away, Jack.
That's beautiful.
That's so damn.
I'm so sad that Mike's weren't hot when he started singing. Duckling had some very colourful words to describe his feelings.
I'm in the process of trying to bribe our social media manager to delay the leaderboard from being posted. I'm in shambles. Verdant, I need you more than ever. You are my 5 Danish brothers, born in the same godly country, where we believe in Jantelån, Pulsar, and Deficio. I believe you will rise up, beat Lion's Creed, and put Hip Brain into minus points as well. Amen. Please.
Well, all of my points are in Lions Creed, so I sincerely hope that doesn't happen. And watching you lose your mind so far with the predictions has been thoroughly entertaining. So I want to see it happen again. Yeah, Lions Creed and Verdant though. I for me personally, I think this game and the next coming into today, I thought were going to be the most exciting games. So we've seen like the first 2 games I thought were going to be like not that exciting in comparison, and they already were like absolute bangers. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if we can continue that trend, then these games coming up will be just earth-shatteringly entertaining. But honestly, for real, though, Lions Creed really do have to turn things around. Disappointing to be 2-2 so far coming into the NLC, where everyone thought they were heavy favorites as far as a super team-esque lineup.
And outside of just my predictions being on the line, and same for yours, Foxtrot, and pretty much everyone else, because it's a very important games in terms of our prediction standings, I think it's fair to say, it is Denmark versus UK. You have a UK organization. I know Verdant is a UK organization as well, but they are fielding 5 Danes. They have had a heavy touch of Danish dynamite being sprinkled upon their organization for years now. So I'm going to label this Denmark versus UK matchup, even if Verdant is a wonderfully run UK organization. 5 Danes, that's enough for me. That's big. It is also my 2 preseason favorites going off against each other head to head. Verdant have surprisingly came back from a disappointing day 1 to be ahead in the standings over Lions Creed, who had a great week 1 and a horrible week 2. None of these teams have seemed perfect, but we both know that they can be incredible when they play at their best. So if both of them show up here today, we are in for a banger, and hopefully, Denmark comes out on top.
Disagree. Hopefully the UK comes out on top. I love your definition of they're Danish because all their players are Danish, and Lions Creed is English because their org is English or UK. So to be fair, we do have to my knowledge, the only UK player in the NLC, which is Kassing. I don't think there are any other UK players in the NLC this split at least.
That's because you're trash at League of Legends, though.
Honestly, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree. We're not amazing at League of Legends.
I really do appreciate that. I think you've been very supportive in my my mental issues here, as I've dropped to minus 11 in the standings. And yeah, it is UK versus Denmark matchup. I am very excited for this game. Even if my predictions have been completely right today and it has kind of killed my mood, the games were crazy enough to make it okay. We are now on the Rift, though. Match of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Our 2 preseason favorites going head to head. Denmark versus UK. And I have no doubts, Foxtrot, a banger's on the way.
Hell yeah. That's what we want to see at least, right? I think Verdant have been one of the more impressive teams for me. There's a few teams that are 3-1 coming into today, Verdant being one of them. And I would go as far as to say probably one of looking like a top 3 team for sure. I've been very impressed to see what they've done. Lions Creed, on the other hand, of course, a little bit more hit and miss. 2-0 first week, 0-2 second week, and their expectations are exceptionally high. So this game definitely destined to be a banger. And some interesting team comps as well. I do think there are merits for both of them. I think the flashier, more exciting team comp would have to go to Lions Creed, and in the right hands can be piloted to some extreme levels of success. But on the other hand, I'd say Verdant has a very easy to play team comp. Very, very easy to execute, and pretty much nail on the head meta as far as it goes here as well.
And one of my quick observations instantly is the fact that Gooby, just like Silgismath last game, his Danish brethren, has gone for the on-hit Varus. You can already see it by the runes. I hope that he built a bit differently and something that does deal a bit more damage, because on-hit Lucian can definitely deal damage, regardless that is a choice that he has made. Also pair that up with the exhaust. But my big positive for this Verdant draft is getting their hands on this Nocturne Orianna combo. Might have to hold on to that because Banderas looking for the solo bully here, at the very least, getting a very good trade. Doxy unable to get that level 2. There, finally gets it. Now has a bit of an escape with that E likely to be upgraded. Goes for the W instead. Trades back. Good damage, both very low. Regardless, though, the Nocturne Orianna combo, very, very oppressive in the late game when Orianna has the burst damage alongside the damage that will come through from a Nocturne naturally. They can one-shot pretty much anyone who's a squishy, except for Banderas' game with the Gwen having the Hallowed Mist. He's safe, but Tempt and Jinjo have to be careful every time they are on vision, because they could, like that, with the snap of a finger, just be gone.
Exactly. It is going to be tricky. There's a lot of hard CC to lock down Tempt and Jinjo, though. You've got the Nautilus ulti and even, I guess, Nocturne ulti, if you kind of want to count that as like a point and click engage when you have the Orianna ball on top of you, especially. I do think there are tools to deal with these guys. And I honestly, I just think like Lucian's such an interesting look here. Jinjo has been very good, in my opinion, in the NLC so far. And you know, the stats kind of speak for themselves. Aragon mentioned them on the desk, how in the West it was something like a 2-17, I think it was, win-loss rate for Lucian, whereas in the East it was like a 68% win rate. So there definitely seems to be windows and like potential for Lucian. It just hasn't really been able to happen just yet. We'll see if this is one of those games that can buck the trend here in the West.
And I mean, this might just be a crude observation, but every time I see Lucian and I watch it in the East and then compare it to how we do it in the West, I always just realize, you know, that the East are good at League of Legends and we aren't at that level. Doxy though, now in trouble, good E away, still slowed up. Chased down from Banderas, who has popped the Ghost. Doxy oh so low without the flash. Will be taken down. Banderas claims that first blood, and it's a sign of maybe things to come here from Lion's Crest in this game. Lion's Creed, sorry.
Yes, a very good start here for Lion's Creed. Maokai doing Maokai things, a very, very potent ganker. The point and click CC with a twisted advance and, you know, just so much crowd control. It's so difficult to escape from that, especially when there's a flash tagged on as well. So first kill of the game, got to go over to Banderas on that Gwen in the top side. And considering she's the type of champion that Gwen is, does deal with Ornn pretty well, to be honest. This is certainly a lane that has potential to snowball. And I don't, imagine Banderas being a real thorn in the side of Verdant as this game continues, especially if she can keep up this pace.
And if he just continues to snowball, right, and he's on a silent well, you can just easily be caught up by the Nocturne Orianna combo. Wrong, we just discussed that earlier. You have that W, which denies the opportunity from that one-shot combo coming through, and it is really a big difference maker, because Banderas will be feeling a lot more safe in the side lanes later on if he decides to try and play through those. But on the rest of the map, the game is completely even. You can see it here. Only 100 gold separating the other 4 lanes combined in the favor of Lion's Creed. Johan potentially looking to make another play down towards the bot side. Same goes for PlayStation though. He's walking right into the Johan waiting trap. Yulbo is here, but he had his attention on the Drake. Starts it up. PlayStation now down to half, and without a flash, this might be a bit risky for Verdant to start, but with Tempt resetting, they have found themselves a window.
Yeah, exactly. He's got TP, but he won't be able to get back in time. So Verdant's still going to be able to pick up this Dragon. That's a good start for these guys. That's the Ocean Dragon going down. And crucially, not a response on the top side of the map for a take on the Void Grubs. You know, Johan is just going to be taking away these chickens. Instead, he was also around the bot side, despite not being able to pick up dragons. So it's the first time that the first dragon has been killed and not been answered by taking Void Grubs top side. So Verdant actually look like they may potentially be able to go for more than one here, but Banderas might have something to say about it.
Gets the block, and that just means the damage early on is so oppressive. Here comes Doxy down as well. One already deleted. Banderas now might find himself in a lot of trouble. The Needwake is available, but it won't be enough. Aeon finds it, and the price for those 2 kills, what a lot of gold, and 3 Void Grubs as well.
That was so terrible by Lion's Creed. Like, absolutely, utterly hideous. What? I'm a little bit speechless as to what they were trying to do there. Like, I kind of get the point of, you had a push from top side. You've got Yone, who's just hit level 6, even though he didn't have lane prior. Well, not just hit level 6, but whatever, he had his ultimate available. That was kind of a skirmish that potentially, you can pop off with the Gwen and the Yone, but just no, like it wasn't a 3 versus 3. It was kind of like a 2 versus 1, 3 versus 1, and then Tempt obviously couldn't get in at all. So, yeah, way too forward, way too early there from Johan. Kind of dooming his team in that play.
Johan, now looking for something new, and this is towards the top side. When you try something new and you don't succeed, you go back to what worked originally, tanking top lane. Instead, though, you just start channeling the recall. As said, Doxy feels confident enough to just clear the wave underneath his turret. He has now closed out that gold difference that there were before, thanks to getting a kill and an assist on that previous play. So, tensions, as we've talked about, high in this game. 600 gold separating these two teams. Lions Creed, imagine Foxtrot with this roster if they currently, after this game, sit in a 2-3 scoreline. Not acceptable.
No, absolutely not, considering the expectations coming into the split, for sure. I know for a fact this team was built to succeed even when they acquired Vanir's spot.
Ooh.
They didn't do it to be a middling team and to potentially not even make playoffs. It's, bringing Tempt and Johan over from Korea as well. Just it is simply unacceptable if this team does not dominate.
Wants to play flash forward, but Johan is here to respond. Yulbo though comes in with the paranoia as well. He might be too far forward, forced to flash out. Johan goes back in. Exhaust comes through from Gooby, but he's exhausting the tank. Johan finds the kill. PlayStation will fall as well. The shield will buy him a couple more seconds as Jinjo claims the kill. It is a playmate by Verdant, but the prize goes to Lions Creed.
Great counter there for Lions Creed, and most importantly too, Paranoia is now on cooldown. Tempt doesn't have ulti. No ulti for either of these two guys here. I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, okay. Making me kind of nervous there, Tempt.
Very nervous. Holding my breath. Oof. It felt like Tempt might have wanted to look for it. In the end, though, he backs out top lane. Doxy, you're not... What? You're not winning this, man. Just back out.
Yeah, a little bit of scrapping all over the map here, actually. All three
Scrappy
lanes.
game so far.
Yeah, looking to put some pain down. Lions Creed, I think, as it stands for now, though, looking like they're in a pretty good spot. Jinjo obviously being able to pick up a kill there in the bot side play will enable him to get a little bit closer towards that first item of his. As we all know about Lucian, he has some pretty intense early game power spikes. Item number 1 being a pretty important one as well. So it's kind of building up towards that one, trying to make that happen when it can. And 1 minute now for this dragon. If he can get the item before dragon spawns, that could be really huge here for Lions Creed.
And we get to just breathe for a short seconds thanks to a game pause. 300 gold separating these two teams. Verdant, and I've just realized this, Foxtrot. We talked about the prize after getting that great fight up in the top side. Were the void grabs, but he's only taken one. Either the overlay is wrong, or
no, he has only taken one. Yeah, he only took one. So there is somewhat of a strategy with the void grubs where you take 2, and then you leave. So the way that the void grubs work is they respawn like on individual timers. So if a void grub dies, then I think it's 4 minutes time. I think it's 4 minutes. It respawns again. So you don't need to. It's not like a jungle camp. We have to clear the whole thing, and then the camp will respawn. Like the individual grublies will respawn as themselves. So some junglers will just take like 1 or 2 because it, as one grub dies, it gives a heal and health and shield to the other grub. So it takes it's exponentially longer to take the more grubs you want to take. And if you take just 2 to begin with, then when the next 2 spawn, you can secure the 4, not the 2 to begin with, sorry. If you just get like if you set yourself up to when the next 2 spawn, you then can clear the whole camp.
Okay.
And then you get 5 stacks, right? Does that make sense? I completely butchered that explanation. But yeah. But to leave 2 up, which is what's happened here, not quite sure what the strategy is for that one. Probably just not wanting to waste too much time.
Yeah, just wanted the tempo or something to try and make that play down bot lane. That didn't work out. And the game, as we just talked about, close. Something's happened here. I think we're just a couple minutes further ahead.
Did something happen?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of gold, we were at 16,000 gold to 16,300. I guess someone must have taken a couple plates or something along those lines. I'm not sure.
Okay.
That is that's kind of brought me out of the loop, but to try and bring ourselves again, why not have a little bit of a fight? Beautiful, too far forward here, and he will die for his sins. Kasing claiming the credit.
Poor timing though. Dragons just spawned here, so that Lucian power spike not going to matter at all because it's just 4v5. So I mean, it depends though. If Lions could actually do want to go and secure this objective, when it comes to Carling and the Maokai ult.
Are they gonna go for the dive? Looks like they will
Surely not.
try. No, they realize that this is a bit too overeager. Let's just force a couple ultimates and back out without really investing too much. To make sure that we will get this Drake for free. Talking
Will they
about
get it now,
Yulbo.
though? It's tough because Yulbo's just
back on the map.
respawned. He's bombing it mid. He's bombing it mid to ult
He's
down.
looking mid.
to ult Tempt.
Shockwave available.
Yeah.
Temp needs to be careful. Soul has just been unbound. Will be on a short cooldown. No doubt about it. If he queues forward here for the wave, he will be dead. Yeah, Shockwave comes through. Paranoia popped as well. Fate sealed. You're only sealing your own fate. I thought the flash was enough to get him out. Now though, Yulbo slowed up. A lot of damage from Ginger at this point in the game. It's a 2v3 scenario. TP's coming in as well. It is Banderas looking to join this fight. Wants to make sure they claim both of these kills. Erol forced to flash over the wall. He is now back out to safety as Temp TP's into the top side, making sure Lions Creed lose nothing but gain a kill and a Drake.
All right, Lions Creed coming out on top of that one. As you mentioned, picking up that dragon there as well, evening up the scores on that front. And this Lucian really paying off right now. Very close to the Storm Razor, most likely going to be picking that up as he resets. And 2-0-2, exactly what you want from the early game Lucian here. You definitely don't, like, the thing that I really just dislike when I see Lucians is when they go even early. It just feels so unnecessary. Like, just pick another champion, man. Like, just pick another champion. I just don't think Lucian really works particularly well unless you have the early pressure, unless you have the early prio, and you have ways to set him up. So 2-0-2 at this point in the game. Beautiful stuff right here for Lions Creed. He's got that item, still going down bot side. And to be honest, plate's still up for another minute. We could see another play bot side with Maokai going down there and looking for a cheeky little bit of action.
We certainly could. The plays don't stop so far this Nocturne. Not doing much. Yulpo had 2 great performances last week, and I was really surprised to see him not be voted MVP for one of those games. He's one I've really talked about as one I was looking forward to seeing. I think he's performed pretty good so far. Especially last week he was phenomenal, but so far this Nocturne, I mean, he's trying to make the plays, but he doesn't quite have the damage and the power to force them through, and he ends up on the wrong side of them, dying, and it's not been a great game from him so far, to be honest.
Yeah, he has struggled. I think what really sucks about it from his perspective is like every time, like he's either used his ult and died, or used his ult and got nothing for it essentially. So yeah, these early ultis have such a high cooldown on Nocturne, especially when you change up your build a little bit as well. Like competitive builds tend to have slightly less CDR than like solo queue builds with like rush lucidity boots and stuff. So yeah, you really can't afford to flounder your first ultis. We might get some action here in the mid lane. I don't know though. Verdant are waiting. They know about this. Oh, it's a sandwich though.
Saying, where is Erol? He's locked up in the middle of it all, and he's going down. Jinjo will claim his 3rd kill of the game. This looks like it will turn out to be a disaster for Verdant. 2 more kills to the Lucian. Already snowballing. This is a horror scenario for Denmark.
Yeah, not looking too hot here for Verdant so far, and most importantly, all the kills going over to where Lions Creed want them, on that Lucian. It's a pretty tough situation right now, but perfectly played though for Lions Creed to leverage the priority that Lucian middle lane has been able to acquire in the bot side to set up a trap there and to set up that combo.
Oh, let's see what happens here in the mid lane, though. They want something, and they will finally be able to make it work. The Paranoia finally turning out to be a nightmare for Lions Creed instead of one for Yulbo himself. Claiming that kill, that is something back. I don't know if there was a bounty in it. I doubt so. There's only 3 assists that had gone over into Temp's pocket. If you really want to get something that can get you back on course, it's either getting this herald and using that to snowball, or killing Jinjo.
Yeah, for sure. You got yourself something right here. At least you get a kill, and like you said, being able to pick up this herald will also help out as well. There's no plates, unfortunately, to be claimed from this one, so not too much going down on that front. But Jinjo would be the perfect walking money bag here to cash in on if you are Verdant. Much easier said than done, however, because Lions Creed, in and amongst the success that they've had in this game, they've been barreling alongside this Lucian. They very rarely leave him alone. And oh, what's this? Is there a roaming tree down towards the bot side of the map? Maokai again, despite having his topside jungle up, putting down vision, shadowing the Lucian. I think Lions Creed know which side of the bread is buttered, something like that this game, and they're playing towards it.
A positive though for Verdant, I know I'm saying that tune a lot, but it is the fact that with all these kills on Jinjo, who is now incredibly strong and has the ability to potentially 1v9 the game, is with this Nocturne Orianna combo, you have the opportunity to probably just one-shot him, or at the very least force him out of a fight early on. The damage, if they get a couple more items, should be enough to potentially one-shot him. I'm starting to become uncertain in my statement, but the point is, with all the gold centralized on one carry, except of it being, oh my god, what am I watching?
Woof.
Yes, that is absolutely disgusting, but they still want to fight on top of it. Here comes the combo.
Said it.
The found Jinjo. Can they take him down? The on horn will seal it. The shutdown goes over into PlayStation, but can they get even more here? Burton diving underneath the turrets will find 2, but lose Yulbo in the process. It could have been so much bigger, but with PlayStation claiming the gold and Banderas getting a turn top lane, I don't know if this is a win for Lions Creed, maybe even.
I agree. I'm not quite sure this is so cut and dry for Verdun right here. You'd think getting 2 kills and a huge shutdown plus the dragon would be, well, they're not even going to get the dragon anymore, are they? So yeah, just the 2 kills. It's a good play, and you see the strength of the combo there from Verdun, specifically Nocturne into Orianna. However, shutdown goal. It was like 500, I believe it got up to there, maybe 550. PlayStation pocketed it. That is terrible. Really, really suboptimal for Verdun. They did not want to give all that gold over to the Nautilus. It's just not. He just doesn't need it. You know? So that really does suck, honestly. Like, if you're Lions Creed, you're like, oh yeah, that's great. Actually, I was worried. Now they have a really good way to dive onto me. I'm going to give all this gold over to the enemy carries, and now you've lost your bounty, the likes of which you probably won't get again in this game. And it's not even a big deal because it went over to the enemy support. So, yeah, it's good stuff here for Lions Creed, despite it being a bit of a rough play overall. They still can be kind of happy with how it went down.
So, Verdun finally getting to use the Herald that they had earlier. While still being 3k goal behind, we now know what that Orianna Nocturne combo can do. And it sets a precedent for the upcoming fight. Jinjo needs to position carefully. Erol is in the front line now. Why would you take that? Or maybe it was just a brilliant idea. Jinjo, though, with the flash, building enough distance to get out. Here comes Yulbo, though. He does not the damage. It's a horror show again. Ornhorn, though, will finally do it. But what's this on the back line? It is Lions Creed cutting through the HP bars. Gooby gone, PlayStation gone, and now Erol and Doxy caught in no man's land. What can Erol do up against Temp? Has already used the command dissonance. No W as well, and no flash to get him out. The shield will only buy a second more, as Lions Creed could look to claim the ace here on the back of the engage. Doxy throwing out the emote as he will go down. Lions Creed claim another crucial fight in their favor.
Oh boy, that is a big no bueno for Verdun. It almost looked like they were going to be able to pull that one around there. I mean, Errol took the Shelly into the middle of Lions Creed. A little bit suboptimal, I have to say. But the turnaround, it was okay until it really wasn't. And most crucially, a lot of kills going over to where you want them to go over if you are Lions Creed. You know, Jinjo got 1, Temp's got 1. I think Banderas maybe even got 2. Either way, the carries all got kills. Just a little bit too feisty for Verdun. And now they're staring down a 5,000 gold lead. And when you look at where the gold is on the scoreboard at the bottom there, it's exactly where you want it. Like, you've got gold leads on the carries. It's not like it's all on a jungler or all on a support where it doesn't really matter that much. It's well spread across the team and where you want that gold to be. So,
Gooby, I think he's just, oh my god, Jinjo, this is not okay, man.
So gross.
Oh my god, dude. You can definitely tell that he's down from down under, because that is some close to Asia level Lucian plays. He's what?
Well, I was like, man, where the hell is he going with this? That was a geography one?
Yeah, geography one.
Close to Asia.
He's flipping the upside down on the typical Lucian EU performance. Let's see what happens around this Baron, though. Jinjo yet again the target. But the follow-up isn't there as Doxy sees him. Here comes the Fate Sealed. It's a horror show as Lions Creed are having fun with their food. Denmark disperse. Turn up your TVs. We are being stomped by the UK.
Just as it should be, Duckling. UK coming out on top of this one. It's been really well played, honestly, from start to finish. I think there was that one really awkward play earlier on in the topside river to begin this game here from Lions Creed. But ironically, they've come a long way, and now the topside river is going to mean success as they win that team fight, 3 kills, and pick up Baron Nashor here. Look at those bounties across the board here for Lions Creed. Just pure dominance right now. You're speechless, Duckling. How could the Danes do this to you? You specifically requested that they win this game.
I want to go home.
Wait, how much did you predict here on Virgin?
On Verdant. I predicted 1, but the thing is, Hipbrain would lose 5 points if Lions Creed lost here, so he would be down in the minus game with me. And as Verdant continue to struggle in this game, they might have found a bit of a window here. Banderas is a bit far up, but no, I mean, Banderas is 5-1. He can do whatever he damn pleases, man.
Damn right. He's very scary. He's very strong. I don't even think this 2v1 would...
No, they would lose that. They would lose that.
Yeah, I agree. It's not looking too hot here. Well, Lions Creed is working all 3 lanes, and Verdant are looking for an angle to try and, you know, collapse on one of these 3 lanes, get some kind of numerical advantage.
Fate Seal has been used. Temp is now down to half, but at the price of an Orianna Shockwave, which is the main ability that should get Verdant back into a fight, it is not a price worth paying. Jinjo, look at him. He's made that mistake once. He's not stepping up again. He's playing it safe, staying out of vision. And Lions Creed are performing to what I expect this roster to be. They are a fantastic roster, 5 fantastic players.
Wait, look at Doxy's TP in mid. He's coming for the flank.
What flank are we talking about? He's coming from behind. They've tried to knock up Johan. I'm not sure what's happening anymore. The TPs are coming in. Disengage, guys. You don't want this. As the parent... What? Very slow.
This is so...
Get me out, man. Get me out of this. Just give Lions Creed the win. And can we move on with the final game of the day, please?
Honestly, I will say, props to the Observer for catching that one, but that was the most depressing flank I've seen, quite possibly in the history of mankind. Literally, Doxy TP'd to a minion in the mid lane. Maybe it was even that ward you can see, like basically halfway up to mid lane, where the tier 1 mid tower around that area. And then he walked down. That was when PlayStation tried to pull the trigger. And, I mean, then you saw what happened. He actually ended up behind everyone. So yeah, I don't know. I think they would they tried to think of something and then got cold feet when it came to the play. Just not great there for Verdant. But you know, at least they still are looking for ways back into this game. If they just hold back and just chill out, they will inevitably just bleed out and lose. You've got to take some risks, you've got to take some chances, and you can kind of see by how Verdant are playing that they are at least looking for those opportunities.
Ginger now has Flash and a barrier, and he always has a Kasing right beside him with a heal and other heals and shields to keep him alive. There is no doubt in my mind that this Orianna Nocturne Burst combo is no longer enough. We would need a miracle to come back from this, and I'm saying we because I'm Danish. Maybe Shockwave, the found Jinjo Flash use, but we can't kill him. He's still alive. Look at him go. He just refuses to die, and now look who's in the backline, winning the game for Lions Creed. It's Banderas and Temp. They found exactly the right targets, and they'll claim all the gold for the kills. Jinjo stays alive. Lions Creed stands atop, and Verdant are brushed aside.
Lions Creed, man, they're playing with fire a little bit here. Verdant got the engage that they wanted. Jinjo almost falls down. But as you said, it's just not quite enough. And look, Verdant threw everything at Jinjo there. Even the Nautilus ulti at the end came through. And when that is not enough, you know your game is doomed. Lions Creed just brushing it off like it's nothing. Still not quite able to find the avenue to officially formally close this game out. But at this point right here, you have to think it's looking dire for Verdant.
You know, maybe if they just manage to delay this game for 25 minutes, they get to full build, so the gold lead of 4,000 gold between the two carriers doesn't matter anymore. But maybe there's hope, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I didn't even realize we're only 26 minutes into this game. So, yeah, it's... it feels like this game, with the amount of items I'm looking at from the side of Lions Creed, it's... Yeah, it's... They're pretty accelerated in their wallets, and it's going to be pretty difficult to store this one out. But again, you can see just from positioning like this, Verdant are looking for plays. They're looking for opportunities to catch out Lions Creed and get back into this game.
Yeah, so Verdant will try and claim this bottom lane tier 1. I'm not even sure they can force that. Let's see if Banderas dips up here. What's the play? Do you just dive on top of him? No, Banderas can smell that something's wrong. Yeah, he knows, of course. The guy's a fantastic League of Legends player. He has like a sixth sense, like Spider-Man sense here. His spider sense is tingling here. He knows that something is wrong. He doesn't go for it. Are we just gonna give up a Baron for free? No. Okay, so they did now decide to recall Lions Creed. You know.
Yes.
And the fact that you could be this far ahead, you're 10,000 gold at 11,000, and Darius doesn't even dare to make that mistake. He stays back. He knows there's a possibility. Doesn't want to give up with 1,000 gold. They are playing so well. They are reading the map so well as well. Like, yeah, we know this isn't our time to step up, even if it's your own tier 1, because you have to give this up. They've put 4 members down here. I can feel it. I'm not gonna make that mistake. Well played to Lions Creed. They are looking like what we expect them to. I looked at this roster initially, Flux Drop, and say these will be one of our 2 EMEA Masters representatives, and they didn't show that in week 2, but maybe that Lions Creed is back as his Baron is gone in a couple of seconds.
So we saw from, I believe it was... Oh, hang on. I'll hold the short here. Yeah, they're going to go for the steal. They're going to try it.
They're going for the steal. He's not going to get it. Yulbo fails to secure the steal. Do they still go for the fight? There's a half HP Ginger in the pit. Shockwave goes down, but it's only on Johan. That's not the target to kill, guys. Now Banderas has free reign over a backline. It is so doom for Denmark as Lions Creed yet again have fun with their food. They'll all die. And this is the game.
Lions Creed putting a bow on top of this one. They've been winning for pretty much all of this game and now finally translating into an actual win, and they will breathe a sigh of relief. This was not a close game, but in the standings, being 2-2, having a 0-2 week, absolutely not allowed for a team coming into the split with such high expectations. The super team of the NLC, Lions Creed, putting those demons of week 2 behind them and starting week 3 off with a win.
A confident one at that, let's be completely honest. This was our match of the week, and it was so on paper, but in reality, it has been the most one-sided game of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Praise the UK Foxtrot. Do whatever you have to.
I'm just gonna say, like, you were already very depressed about being -11 on your predictions. This was another game where your predictions went wrong, and not only that, you were even waving the Danish flag for this game.
You want to know what I get some of my Danish accessories in case we won. I had prepared this for when we were winning. Get me out. Send it to a break. Send it to a break, producer. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back for the last game of the day.
Break it down. Step on the gas, let's get out of town. We gonna break out and have some fun. We gonna do what you never done. Oh yeah. Come on, take your body with you. It's a money weekend. Everything we wanna, we go do. It's less so we go do.
Both of them now gone. The soul has been denied, but the fight not yet decided. Then in the front line though, takes so much damage in the backline. Yankee having fun with his opponent. Triple kill for Rusty Sniper. He's made Jin look like a champion, and it's the 8th